So by way of introduction, my name is Bob Carroll, and I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Core Group, and excited to chat with you a little bit, just briefly here before Ryan's discussion about our development organization. And, you know, some of the things that we hear about most in technology today are things like machine learning and artificial intelligence. And, you know, despite all the great work and innovations on that, to build good software, you kind of need human learning and human intelligence, and that's the point of sharing some of this with you today. Some of the unique attributes of our organization that present challenges as well as opportunities for us. One is that we have a completely distributed workforce. So the fact that there might be 10 of us in the room today is amazing. Absolutely, you know, actually represents probably about a quarter of our entire team. The development organization is really kind of made up of a few teams. I'll talk about that, and spread worldwide. And so, you know, this offers positive benefits for us as well as challenges. The pros are we have the access to the top talent globally. You know, here we were looking at talking to Anton and Ivan today. Obviously, they're not Phoenicians, local here to Arizona. And with that, there's economic benefits. You know, we can pick labor in various regions to take advantage of that. And but there's challenges that come along with that as well. Time zone challenges. So they got off the phone at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night. So they've still got their whole night ahead of them. Don't worry, guys. Don't feel too badly for them. But it is a challenge, right? That's there. That presents other differences, such as Friday morning for us here in the States, especially in the West area. It's Friday afternoon. You know, guys are kind of moving on to other things, family life, and so that presents some compression on the work week. And so it really puts us into this always available type of mode for it. And it's great. We have a pretty small team of developers and QA and product managers and that bring this together. But yet it's still a pretty tiny team that's doing all this great work. And it's a great team. And in the spirit of decentralization, we really adhere to some of those values internally in our organization as well. It makes us unique, and we have unique challenges that go along with that. So, for instance, we have teams that are product teams. So we're talking to guys today from the platform team, and Brian was representing the mobile team today. You're probably very familiar with the core team because they've been around the longest. But then we have these other organizations that overlay that as well, the QA organization and the product organization and operations infrastructure, the way we work in development with agile methodologies, so our Scrum teams. And what this really does is provides a level of decentralization that's not typical in a typical software development shop. It's usually fairly hierarchical. You have team leads, you have managers, directors, vice presidents, CTOs. So in a typical organization, I'd actually have a lot of say and input. At Core Group, all the guys just run around and do everything without telling me. It's really exciting. It's a great job to have. It's fantastic because what we've done is we've delegated decision making. And just as consensus is developed on the blockchain, consensus is developed similarly in the organization. And so you can think of all the advantages to that. We've got diversity of workforce, distributed workforce, everybody having a voice and input into that. Some of the challenges could be then, though, that might take longer to decide, you know, as opposed to just saying, hey, Ryan, what's the right way? Or Bob, what's the right way to do this? Or what do you prefer? And so those are some of the challenges that we face as we develop this software, but we believe in it, and it's core to who Core Group is as well. So what I want to talk to you about a little bit is just some of the challenges that we face, and then the opportunities that those present for us. And so you all know that we've been on these cycles of growth. Sometimes those cycles are in the positive, and sometimes those are declining. And it feels a little bit like a roller coaster sometimes, as we call these growth cycles. And those are the challenges that we face. But the opportunities that we have is to then take hard looks at what we're doing. And we've done that over the last year, and I just want to highlight a few of those things. And so taking a hard look at our product line and some of the things that we've made announcements on over the last few months or year have been reducing and simplifying that product line. So despite the challenges that we may be facing with market forces, we have that ability and that good pressure to say, well, how do we streamline that then? How do we be more efficient? One of those decisions, a couple decisions have impacted our wallet strategy. There was a third-party wallet that we thought was going to be our wallet for the future that we wanted to implement and struggled with that for a while and said, let's stick with our core business. And so we put that aside. We had another strategy on let's move to a whole different development language for the wallet of the future. And let's just put aside and see how that could compete against what's been our native wallets. And a few months ago, we made a decision on that. Let's put that aside. Let's get back to the core, get back to our core business and do that. And I think that's represents well how we face challenges at Core Group. Another one's on product teams and what we've been doing there. And again, in the sake of efficiency, we took two teams. Anton and Ivan represented kind of leads of two separate teams, our DAPI team and our Drive team. So let's put them together. Let's make a platform team. We had two separate mobile development teams, DashPay wallet team and our pure native wallet team, and we put those together recently as well. And I think that really helps when we say, let's take challenges and let's overcome them and let's decide on them together. And we had some good consensus building as we did that. And part of that's to protect the culture and to continue to define with a culture of Core Group. And so I'm the newbie. I've been here for a year and a half, and I'm still the new guy, partly because of our growth cycles, is that we haven't had an opportunity to hire a lot of staff. And the culture is important, and it's a balance. And so when Ryan and I talked as I came on board, that was one of the things is, hey, we want some of these improvements. We were looking for efficiencies. We're looking for faster delivery. And I said, yes, but it can't be at the expense of changing the culture dramatically. And I've seen that too many times in my career and profession. But what you can do is you can start to focus on the things that matter. And one of the great things we did was focused on process and process improvements. How we develop software has changed dramatically. What Liz represented and what Dana and Brian, both here today, represent is a different way of developing software. Having product managers who own that process to support and guide the great developers and the great engineering talent that we have. And then lastly, to really look at performance and to look at performance of teams. And you can imagine the challenge when it's distributed. People work from home, they're on their own time zones, and so these teams are then each individual team's highly distributed as well. And to measure performance and to know how to communicate good performance or areas for improvement has been a challenge as well. And we've just gone through our first 360-degree review process. So everybody, peers, subordinates, or direct reports, managers, everybody has, and self has an opportunity to say, here's how I think I'm doing. Why don't you guys tell me how I'm doing? And again, that whole spirit of decentralization comes through in how we're handling performance management in the organization. So what we're doing, despite the challenges, as I mentioned, we have a lot of opportunities ahead of us and how we're doing business. The team is great, and so if I haven't met you, I'd look forward to meeting you later. We have such wonderful team members here. The opportunity for us to get together in person, it does not come frequent enough because it makes a big difference when we can do that and do our planning. But where our focus will remain is in this chart, and first and foremost, it's on quality. In software development, we always have the challenges of scope and time and cost, and that quality of scope. And quality is unanimously the decision and the value that we cling to at Dash Core Group. You've seen that because some time has slipped as we've gone after some ventures, and we'll continue to do that. And with that, seeking after innovation. And so the way that platform is designed and being delivered today is slightly different than a white paper that was developed 3 years ago. And that's a good thing. You want that design to change and to represent the latest and greatest thinking that's out there. And we'll continue to focus on delivery. And I hope that you have seen that over the last year. Continuous delivery on the mobile team, on the core team, and then obviously seeing that come out of now of the platform team. And then our foundation really is here at the bottom. It's our wallets with the refined strategy that Brian did a great job of laying out today. Core, and where that will continue to go and grow to support the basic financial transactions and the expanded functionality that we see is due for us. Ryan may allude to some of that today. And then really kind of our launch pad, that the platform that we can give developers that ability to innovate, that ability to grow blockchain as a service, to build financial applications on the blockchain to continue to support the growth of the Dash network. So that's where our focus will be. I'm excited again to help guide this organization and watch it grow. Thank you for your time. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ryan for closing presentation.